Was there more to it than just getting open shots? What were the experts seeing that I wasn't? And if only there was some sign that could tell me what the problem with Kentucky basketball's offense has been.
After the loss to USC, Kentucky basketball and its fans were in a really dark place. Fans were bringing in signs telling Cal to go to Texas, and more anonymous coaches were taking shots at Calipari. But the argument that Cal's offense is outdated was worth looking at after only scoring 52 points against Alabama and struggling to score for a lot of the game versus South Carolina. Some critics do not talk about Cal's actual sets or his plays, but they talk about offensive philosophy, and that I might be able to get behind. I found there is one place where Kentucky is an outlier, not just this year, but almost every year Cal has been at Kentucky. And that, obvious to every Kentucky fan probably, is three-point shooting. Little side note, I wrote and did a lot of this before they shot 33 threes against Texas A&M. But it's actually more relevant now. In the year they last won a tournament game, 2019, they were the only Elite Eight team to not take at least 20 threes a game. That team shot just 16.4 a game, 346th most in college basketball. And even though the three-point line was moved back again following that 2019 season, more teams are taking more threes. And while Kentucky has shot more in recent years, they're still pretty far behind the pack. But this wasn't how Cal's teams have always played, just how they've played since he got to Kentucky. In his last 7 years as head coach at Memphis, the Tigers shot 20 or more threes all but one season. As a Kentucky fan in 2008, I hated John Calipari and the Memphis Tigers. They showboated, they dunked on you, they had fun, they were led by an 18-year-old who definitely took his own SAT, and they shot over 21 threes per game, which was 10th most in the nation. They were 15th in points per game, and they did it with flair, and I f***ing hated them. But we all know that that hate really was, right? It was envy. You can almost even say, I didn't want to beat them, I wanted to be them. I was watching my Kentucky Wildcats actually shoot a better percentage from three, but take only 15 a game. That would rank Kentucky 295th in three-point attempts, which is a far cry from Pitino's Bombinos, who were taking and making the most threes in the nation while attempting 25 and making 9 of them. So when John Calipari took over, I think that's what a lot of Kentucky fans thought we were going to get. Teams that resembled that 2008 Memphis group or 1996 Kentucky, plenty of NBA talent, but still shot the nation's 19th most threes, and they made the 8th most. Here we are in year 13 of John Calipari, and still we don't have a team who has shot 20 threes per game. Instead, Cal's teams have played conservative, and when you got DeMarcus Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns, and Julius Randle, I mean, you would be stupid to not dump the ball inside to them. But in the tournament, Kentucky goes on extremely long stretches without even attempting a three. And it's rare the Cats try a three-point shot with more than 5 seconds on the shot clock from a half-court set, especially in the second half. So if he didn't really do this at Memphis, when did he start adopting this philosophy? Maybe it was somewhere after March 27th, 2010, when West Virginia went into a 1-3-1 zone and baited the Cats into shooting 32 threes, making just 4 of them. This marked the 3rd straight season that Cal knew he had a team capable of winning the national title, only to see those dreams ruined by a bad shooting night. So 3 really good teams and no banners. And I'm not gonna make another SAT joke. In 2011, due to Enes Kanter not being allowed to play, Kentucky was forced to play small, and they shot more threes that year. But it was another bad shooting night that knocked them out of the tournament. It wasn't as bad of a shooting night as the last 3 exits from the tournament that Calipari had experienced, but still, it was several points below their average. So was it after watching 74 missed threes eliminate what could have been 4 title teams that Calipari decided he was not going to rely on three-point shooting ever again? Because from that point on, Kentucky all but abandoned the three-point shot in the NCAA tournament. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. Going deeper into what these numbers represent shows Cal's apprehension to the three-point shot in big games might be worse than the stats indicate. Many of Kentucky's three-point tries come with the shot clock winding down, and the threes are not being taken by the best shooters. In the Elite Eight loss to Auburn, Kentucky took just 5 threes in the second half. Their best percentage three-point shooters that season were P.J. Washington, Keldon Johnson, and Tyler Herro. They combined to shoot 0 of those second half threes. So who took them? 2019 Emmanuel Quickley and Ashton Hagans. Had Kentucky made the Final Four, could we have expected even less three-point tries? Here's how many threes Kentucky has taken in their last 3 Final Four appearances. In 2012, Kentucky shot just 7 threes and no starter connected from deep. That's the least a Final Four team has shot since 2006. Kentucky would top both of those in back-to-back years. The 2014 and 2015 Final Four games versus Wisconsin, Kentucky shot 10 threes combined, with 2015 being the biggest head-scratcher of them all. Kentucky was 3 of 3 from 3 and didn't take another one until they had to in the closing moments of the game. Devin Booker is 7th all-time in three-point percentage at Kentucky, but despite making 2 of his 3 attempts in the previous game versus Notre Dame, Booker played 19 minutes and didn't attempt 1 three-point shot. To be fair to Calipari, the game has changed a lot since 2015, and Kentucky does take more three-point shots now, from 14.5 attempts per game in 2015 to over 19 this season. That still ranks Kentucky near the bottom in three-point attempts because of how much the game has changed. A team that shot over 20 threes a game in 2015 would have been around 88th in three-point attempts per game. A team that shot 20 threes per game just 4 years later
would rank 270.
Alabama shot 54 threes in their 166 win over LSU earlier this month. Kentucky would need to play Wisconsin in a Final Four game 11 times to match that output. But to be fair, again, Cal wanted his team to shoot 25 threes per game this year, and they started out shooting a bunch in some of the big games. But the problem is, it isn't how many you take, it's how many you make. And it worried me that Cal would abandon that strategy, because I do think there are lineups where they can stretch the floor with their three-point shooting, and my suspicions were confirmed during the USC game. Kentucky hit their first three of the second half and didn't take another one until the under 4-minute mark. But just 10 days later, the Cats took 32 threes versus Texas A&M, their most attempts from deep since 2011. And no one is suggesting that just throwing up a bunch of threes automatically increases your chances of winning a basketball game. Obviously, you have to have the personnel to do it. And yeah, not every team that shoots a lot of threes is good, but are a lot of the good teams shooting a lot of threes? Out of the top 10, there was only one team not shooting 23s a game, and that's Mick Cronin's UCLA Bruins. Calipari says there is more than one way to do this, and UCLA is actually proving him right. They don't play modern basketball at all, and they were in the top 5 not that long ago and are currently ranked 9th. But you can't ignore the fact that Cal embraced the three-point shot more than we've seen him do in quite a long time. Is it a change in philosophy, or was Texas A&M just leaving guys wide open?
And that question was probably answered when Kentucky took and made the least amount of threes of any team to play Kansas this season.
Yeah, because there's probably other ways to win games other than shooting over 23s per game. But Calipari just needs to win, because you can't take the contrarian route and be wrong without looking like an idiot. Trust me.
Yeah, we should be shooting more threes.
If you're cool like all the people in blue in the eruption zone, then comment and hit subscribe on KSR's YouTube channel. And go Cats!